um, sins committed by younger people as old as 50 and younger are those connected to lust and ego. Now, there's worse sins, I suppose, definitely, but these are very common. It may happen to you above 50 years old too, but definitely in our younger life, from about age 15 onwards, we make a lot of our decisions from these two perspectives. And we have a natural urge to make babies and make money. So perhaps these perspectives aren't totally off the mark. But we kind of balk at churchy people who denounce lusts of the flesh. And well, we do because, well, we know they have these lusts themselves, don't we? And also, on the other hand, we think we're living in a new age that should entitle us to a lot of open-mindedness and fun. Yes, yes, yes. But, well, you've all heard the old wives' tale that men think about sex every 7 to 8 seconds or so. And in these times, to be honest, I don't think women are all that far behind them. Now, that's a very distracting thing, sex. And we don't want to be distracted by lust as much as we might be. We have other things to do, let's face it. And most of us would truly like to be true to our lover and or our divine destinies. A similar preoccupation to lust is our great selfhood. We have to work at being successful and well-liked. And that's our ego. Because if we truly felt loved by God, by our Holy Mother, and realized how much it doesn't matter what we look like or even quite how our personalities are, we wouldn't care as much about impressing people. We may not even have as much of a desire to get it on with every attractive person that pays us some attention if we were more solid in our connection with the holy. I think I've done this on my show before. Yeah. And sex is about connection. Okay, and there's probably a reason why religions discourage sex outside of marriage or strong love partnerships. Now, this is where some of my other research about the Virgin Mary comes in. Several months after I finished Untie the Strong Woman, and I was struggling to write a script for this program, I saw a young lady on the SkyTrain reading this book, Mysteries of the Virgin Mary, Living Our Lady's Graces. And I felt the need to read it because here I had so much beautiful prose and poetry to share with you from Este's book, but not a solid idea of who the Virgin Mary was or is to devout Catholics and good priests and nuns and monks. The Virgin Mary, not as someone to worship as we may God or Jesus or some higher power, but as someone to emulate and help us to get closer to God. Now, when someone asks you, you who may know so little of the Bible, if you remember or know any stories from the Bible, you might be able to articulate bits of Adam and Eve and or the story surrounding the birth of Jesus. If someone were to ask you which story were more inspiring and joyful, you'd probably choose the latter. Adam and Eve choose to disobey God and eat the fruit from the tree because they give in to temptation. They're like us, sinners. They decide they're in it for themselves. they want to possess, have power. God gets extremely angry, punishes them, and bans them from the Garden of Eden, from paradise, from heaven, far away from him. He is gravely disappointed in them. Now we see from this story our true colors, our true nature that simply cannot change. Just as a tiger can't change his stripes, the scorpion is always going to sting. The human being is always in want of something greater or someone better. Wants to be like God instead of in relationship to God. But then when God presents us with Mother Mary, this is the beginning of another chance for us to not only be in relationship to God, but also like God, godlike. Father Cameron points out that Mother Mary doesn't come to the earth with original sin. She doesn't have the things we have. She's not supposed to have lusts of the flesh. She doesn't desire material things. And she doesn't have that pride that we have that always ends in self-assertion, you know? Like, oh, I'm a really fast learner. I'm faster than most, actually. I'm not bragging or anything. I'm lucky I was born with a nice figure. I wasn't born with a nice body, really, but I have a peaches and cream complexion. Feel me. I'm doing a lot better than the people I graduated with. Mary is always documented as a lovely, down-to-earth, very alive, and other concerned woman who instills these values in her son. And this is really how we would like to be. Godlike, caring, alive, and responsive to others. Doing the things we feel we were sent to the earth to do. By having Mother Mary give birth to Jesus, through this holy couple, we have a chance to be reborn. God gives humanity another chance to reimagine and remake themselves after Adam and Eve, the heady, temptation-filled, brain-boggled, dilemma-ridden, lusty, thirsty first couple. You wanna make it with me? Clouds descending. I'm not policing what you think and dream. I run into your thought from across the room. Just another trick. Can I weather this? I got a fever below my waist. You got a squeeze box above your knee. I got a fever below my waist. You got a squeeze box above your knee. I got a fever below my waist. You got a squeeze box above your knee. I know the truth lies in between the first and the 40th drink. Pinkola suggests that perhaps we feel lesser than Mary because we drink or we do drugs. We're very selfish. We get unreasonably angry or sometimes lust over other people that we're really not supposed to. Mary is pure, yes, she says. But not as in never going dark, never having doubt, never taking a wrong turn for a time, but rather pure, yes, as a gemstone, cut into 100 sparkling facets, gem cut by trouble, adventure, and challenge, and yet fully without a streak of dead glass in any facet. Despite all the trouble, the diminishment, the scorn, the hounding, the ridicule that Mary withstood for having who some thought was a wingnut nutter of a son, and for her very firm beliefs, Holy Mother still burns pure fire bright, as do you. Our lights never go out, no matter what we have done or not done or had done to us. Our souls are indestructible. Many cultural groups, tribes, have nighttime representations of Mother Mary, and we call her the Black Madonna. Dr. Este's grandmother, actually, would look for the Holy Mother, the Black Madonna, in the logs that had burnt in their wood fires, both inside and outside. Her grandmother, she says, would poke through the white ash and blackened log remnants from the fire, asking, "Is there any virgin in there?" And what she meant was, were there any oval-shaped pieces of burnt and blackened wood that resemble rather strikingly the Blessed Mother's bodily shape, that feminine, motherly form? Now, many a time the great woman was there in the fire, a little burnt log twin of Mother Maria. And the point of grandmother's little Black Madonnas was that regardless of what kind of fire she had passed through, what kind of fire we have passed through, no matter how much she has been burned, we have been burned, we are never consumed. Mary Mother is symbolic of the fact that our souls are never destructible. These little black statues said, "Look at my dark face, my burnt body, and grow, 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 flourish, flourish. Let nothing hold you back." The Virgin Mother doesn't want you to be a pansy, a pussy, a weakling. She accepted her son's tragic death. She watched it and is documented and said to have gone on delivering his message long after his death. Este says that Mary allows what must die, die, and what must live, live. And what must live is the true you, your message to the world, your contribution. Those groups who honor and know the Black Madonna comment on her very knowing eyes. Statues of her show her eyes to be gazing out in a most knowing way, as if part of this world, yet from another. The Black Madonna's black eyes are said to radiate black light. Now, you all know from being at a nightclub full of black light that if you wear a black shirt or a black dress, all the fluff and dust and dandruff is going to show up on it. What cannot normally be seen in daylight can certainly be seen under black light. Now, this particular representation of Mary as Black Madonna shows that she sees things that are not normally seen. So, for instance, when you're not saying something in your life that needs to be said, she can see the words written on your heart. When you're having these inner tics because you don't agree with a certain treatment of you or the people you know, you look to her like you have a very stunning case of Tourette's. When you're putting off doing something that you feel you must do, she sees your muscles clenching and the pressure building up, getting ready for what she knows is the worst psychological explosion.